Right now, you are probably reaching for your phone without thinking about it. You open an app, you scroll. 2 minutes pass, 5 minutes, 30 minutes. You tell yourself you'll stop, but your thumb keeps moving, keeps swiping, keeps pulling down for more. This is not laziness. This is not weakness. Your brain is being hijacked by one of the most powerful chemicals in your body, and you didn't even know it was happening. That chemical is dopamine. But here's the part they don't teach you in school. Dopamine isn't about pleasure. It's about the hunt. It's about the anticipation of a reward, not the reward itself. Your ancestors survived because of dopamine, but the apps you use every day have weaponized it against you. Imagine you're a hunter in the African savanna 200,000 years ago. You're tracking an antelope. Your eyes scan the tall grass. Every few steps, your dopamine spikes because you might find prey. Might. The uncertainty is everything. Sometimes you hunt for hours and find nothing. Sometimes you round a corner and there's dinner. That unpredictability, that variable reward schedule, made dopamine flow through your ancient brain like a river. It kept you alive because it kept you searching. Fast forward to today. You pick up your phone. You don't know what's on your feed. Maybe your friend posted something. Maybe you got a like. Maybe nothing at all. You scroll. You don't know what you'll find. This is exactly the same variable reward schedule that kept your ancestors hunting. The only difference is that now the prey is infinite, the feedback is instant, and someone is getting paid every time you stay hooked. When you scroll and find something interesting, your brain releases dopamine. But it's not releasing it because you found a reward. It's releasing it before you know what you're going to find. Neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz conducted landmark research in the 1990s that showed dopamine spikes not when you receive a reward, but when you anticipate it. The promise of the next scroll is more addictive than the content itself. Your brain is literally designed to crave what comes next, not to enjoy what's here now. Here's where it gets darker. Engineers at these tech companies understand this science perfectly. They built your apps using the exact same principles that keep rats pressing levers in psychology labs until they collapse from exhaustion: the notification dot, the infinite scroll, the variable schedule of likes and comments, the red badge that never goes away until you check. None of this is accidental. All of it is designed to hit the dopamine button in your brain over and over again. Tristan Harris was a design ethicist at Google, and he spent years inside these companies watching how they weaponize human attention. He described what they do as persuasive technology. Technology designed not just to inform you, but to change your behavior without your conscious consent. Your phone isn't a tool anymore. It's a slot machine, and the slot machine is winning. But your brain didn't evolve for this. Your dopamine system evolved for the hunt, where rewards were rare and unpredictable, but where you could eventually succeed. In the ancient world, if you kept hunting, you would eventually eat. If you kept searching for a mate, you would eventually find one. There was an end goal. There was success. But scrolling has no end. There is no kill. There is no victory. There is only the next scroll and the next and the next. Your brain releases dopamine for the search, but you never experience the completion that used to satisfy it. This is why you can't stop. It's not a moral failing. Your brain is literally being starved of the feeling of completion while being bombarded with the feeling of anticipation. Every time you scroll and don't find what you're looking for, your dopamine system doesn't shut down. It gets stronger. It doubles down. The uncertainty makes it worse, not better. You keep scrolling because your brain expects that eventually you will find something that satisfies you, but you won't. The app won't let you. Research from the University of Chicago by psychologist B.F. Skinner showed that animals will work harder for unpredictable rewards than for predictable ones. He called this the extinction effect. Your social media feed is the most perfect implementation of this principle ever created. You get likes sometimes. You get comments sometimes. You get the occasional viral moment, but you don't know when. That unpredictability is more addictive than certainty would ever be. You're literally more addicted to not knowing than to knowing. The average person now spends 5 hours a day on screens. 5 hours. That's 1/3 of your waking life spent in a dopamine loop designed by people whose entire job is to keep you there. And the worst part is that your brain gets worse at releasing dopamine the more you scroll. You develop tolerance. The hits don't feel as good. You need more scrolling to feel the same anticipation. This is addiction, medically speaking. Your brain is experiencing the exact same neurochemical changes as someone addicted to gambling or drugs. But here's something even stranger. After you scroll, your dopamine crashes. You're left feeling more empty than you were before. You didn't accomplish anything. You didn't find what you were looking for. You just spent an hour of your life pulling a digital lever. And yet, the crash makes you want to scroll again. More dopamine. Another hunt. Another chance at finding something satisfying. The apps have created a cycle where the only escape from the dopamine crash is more dopamine seeking. They've weaponized your own brain chemistry against you. Your ancestors had one advantage. They could actually win. They could kill the antelope. They could find the mate. They could build the shelter. They could complete the hunt and feel satisfied. Their dopamine system would reset. They could rest. But your apps were designed so that you can never win. There is no final scroll. There is no moment where you've seen everything and can rest. The hunt never ends. Your dopamine never resets. This is not accidental. Every feature, every notification, every red badge, every new algorithm tweak is A/B tested to maximize the amount of time you spend scrolling. The people who built these apps are not evil. They're just doing their jobs, which is to maximize engagement. But engagement for a social media company means making you as addicted as possible. Your well-being is not part of the equation. And here's the cruelest part. As you scroll, you're not just damaging your own dopamine system. You're training your brain to believe that unpredictable stimulation is more rewarding than the deliberate, focused work of actually creating something, learning something, or connecting deeply with someone. Your attention span is shrinking. Your ability to focus is declining. Your need for novelty and stimulation is growing. You're becoming less capable of finding dopamine in the real world because you're training your brain that only the infinite scroll can provide it. Some people try to quit. They delete the apps. They last 3 days. They're unbearably restless. Their brain is screaming for dopamine. It doesn't understand why the lever doesn't work anymore. So they reinstall. The apps win again. And they know this happens. They design for relapse. They make it easy to come back. One tap and you're back in the hunt. But here's what scientists have discovered. You can retrain your dopamine system. It takes time. It takes discomfort. But your brain wants to find dopamine in real things again. Real conversations, real accomplishments, real movement and creation. Every day you don't scroll, your dopamine sensitivity slowly returns. The real world becomes more rewarding again. A conversation becomes more interesting than a notification. A book becomes more engaging than a feed. Sleep becomes more satisfying than a scroll. The ancient hunter in your brain is still there. But instead of hunting antelopes, you're hunting for the next notification. And the predator isn't a lion. It's a billion-dollar company that has studied your brain more carefully than you ever have. They know exactly which buttons to push. They know exactly how to make you feel the hunt again and again and again. Right now, you are probably reaching for your phone without thinking about it. But now you know why. And knowing is the first step to taking control of the dopamine that was supposed to keep you alive, not keep you scrolling.